big conversation is a process that helps everyone in an organisation understand its strategy and their role in supporting the strategy. And at the heart of it is a big picture which describes the strategy, why we need to change, where we're trying to get to, our vision, the journey to get to the vision. And during the course of using the picture, people get involved in hundreds, sometimes thousands of conversations about what that strategy means for them. And it's not a presentation, it's a conversation. And it's a way of bringing the strategy to life and getting people to think about what it means for them. There's a number of good reasons why pictures are helpful. First of all, they're very memorable. You don't remember a list of bullet points, but you remember a picture. They help understanding because you can link a lot of major themes together, the strategic drivers, the vision, the change programs that we have going on, often things that people can't put together, but the picture does that for them. It's a way for involving people, so rather than talking at people, it gets people engaged in conversations that are real and they're relevant and they're exploring their futures. And it's something that works. Pictures work across different borders and boundaries. So you can use one picture in many different languages. So it's an international tool as well as something that we use in the UK. 3 stages: discovery, equip, and engage. Discovery is about articulating the story, interviews with managers, leaders, sometimes employees, could be trade unions, but it's about defining what is the strategy and what's the picture that we need to put together to tell the story of the strategy to all the people in the organisation. Equip is about helping people with the skills and the resources to run the conversations, so that might involve training. It certainly involves guidelines for people so that they understand that their role is to lead a conversation and involve people in that conversation. And engage is about doing it. It's going out and running hundreds of conversations throughout the organisation, which link the big picture with what people's jobs are. Some people say it is patronising to use pictures. It's a cartoon. How can you use a cartoon to talk about a serious subject like our strategies, like going back to school? But our experience from the leadership down is that that's not how it feels as we develop it. So first of all, the leaders get involved in creating the imagery, and as they go through that process and as they think through the key messages, the key themes, the reasons for change and so on and so forth, they get very involved in it and they don't find it patronising at all. In fact, it brings the whole thing to life for them. And then as we roll it out and we're actually in the conversations with people, again, people get involved talking about their business and their plans. The picture's just a stimulus to get it going, and it's not what it's all about. It's about the conversations. Their involvement is slightly different from the leadership involvement. So the leader's involvement is about the strategy and where we're trying to get to, the vision. The employee's piece is about what it's really like on the ground. So for instance, we were doing one big conversation for one client, and the employee said to us, well, the problem around here is that leaders always tell us to change, but we never see them changing. So we put into the picture leaders saying, you change, we don't. And that brought the whole thing to life. So the employees can get involved in creating the picture, and what they bring to life is the realities of working in the operation, and they help make the thing that much more credible and relevant for people. The best way to train people to use the pictures is to put them through a conversation themselves. So in the ideal world, we'd run a conversation, or you'd be involved in a conversation yourself with your team before you then led one for another team. And in a typical application or rollout, it might cascade down like that. But another way, we might train people who have good facilitation skills. So we'd go off site and work with them in a workshop, help them use the picture, help them think about the questions that need to get asked, and build up a team or a cadre of people who could use the picture. And the third thing we do is create guidelines for people, so they're really clear on what their role is, the kinds of questions they need to ask, and what the picture represents. And then they can lead the process in a way that's really involving for people. Oh, definitely. You can measure the success of the conversation. The key thing to do is to establish some baselines before you start, and then following the process, see how far those have moved. So for example, we might be interested in measuring the awareness of the strategy or people's understanding of the strategy. So we put in place some questions that literally ask people the extent to which they agreed or disagreed with how well aware they were of the strategy, and then we'd measure again 3-4 months after we'd rolled out the conversations. And whenever we've done that, we've always seen swings of 30-40% in awareness, levels of awareness and understanding.
If you take the public sector, people who've used the process include the Cabinet Office, the Home Office, Majesty's Revenue and Customs, and in the private sector we've worked with people like BAE Systems a number of times, TUI Travel PLC and a number of parts of their organisation, Business Stream, which is a Scottish utility business, Syngenta, the agrochemical business, where we help them communicate their supply chain responsiveness strategy. So a range of different organisations.